Hey everybody, welcome. It's Timmy here with Chalk Couture. If you're joining me on the replay, welcome. We're just going to give folks here a second to join us, and then we're going to dive into our creation of a beautiful pillow using our couture inks and our square canvas pillowcase. So I'm super excited to share that with you. And it looks like we are all good to go. I want to just quickly share this off to my VIP group. So in case I have some folks there who want to watch and join, can. And that is all set. And I am just going to put a quick comment in here. Hey Paula, welcome. Nice to have you here. Just linking off here to my Chalk Couture site. So if you see something that you like and you want to go check it out, you'll be able to do that. I'm just going to pin that right to the top so it's available. Show my comments here. I'm going to pop over and say hi. All right, so now you can see me. Hi everyone. Nice to see you. Welcome. I am a little tired, but also really a little excited. It feels like almost a week since I've had a chance to do some chalking, and I am so excited to come to you with this project. As you might know, if you've been watching me and have been around, that on Monday of this week, we launched a brand new spring-summer catalog, and there are so many incredibly beautiful designs that I can't wait to start showing to you how you can use them to really create beautiful home decor. So I'm glad you're with me here today, and as I said, thanks Paula for joining me. If you're just coming on, be sure to say hi and let me know you're watching. And certainly if you have any questions along the way, feel free to go ahead and add in a comment. I would love to be able to answer those as we're going through our project today. If you are not a designer and you know someone that you think that might enjoy watching along, please feel free to go ahead and share this live with them. Just use the share button that's at the bottom of your mobile device on the left-hand side there. Just click share and send that, add it to your timeline, or send it to a friend that you think might be interested. That would be much appreciated. And make sure too that you subscribe to my lives so that you'll know when I come on next time. So I do try to come live as frequently as I can. My day job sometimes takes me away from my home and I'm on the road, and so I don't get a chance to come to you live as much as I might like to. But I am back. I literally just flew in from Austin a few hours ago, and back here in kind of rainy, almost freezing rain, I think, later tonight here in Connecticut. So it's a great night to be warm and toasty and doing a fun project with you. So let me again just say hi and welcome, and definitely feel free to go ahead and make a comment. If you're coming in, be sure to say hi and let me know you're here. I'll try to keep an eye on the comments that come in. As I said, I just love to be able to interact with you, so feel free to say hi. So for those of you that are brand new to Chalk Couture, let me give you a little bit of an overview about what Chalk Couture is, and then we're going to dive right in and do this great project. So Chalk Couture is a company that provides easy, high-end DIY home decor. Really, it's going to give you some really great products to be able to use to create some just beautiful things for your home, to give as gifts, and to really just beautify our world, which is kind of what I think. But best of all, it's super easy to do, and products are available to you easily right from my website. So you see my website up here at the bottom, and of course it's linked here in the comments. So if you're watching this on the replay and you kind of want to know, hey, how do I get my hands on some of this stuff? Just go ahead and check out my website. All those new products now are available, and they'll ship directly to you wherever you are. So that would be really awesome if you see something here that you like, that you can do that. So let's talk a little bit about some of the products that we offer. And probably the best way to do that is to kind of take a look at the project we're going to do. So I'm going to put that over here, and I'm going to push our view here. So now you only see me in the top corner, but most of all what you see is the project that we're going to be working on. And I'm going to move this off the screen here just for a little while, just so that we got a nice full screen to look at. I'm going to move my keyboard out of the way. We don't need that right now. I think I can move my mouse too. The more distractions I have on my desk, the more crazy it gets. So this is one of our brand new silkscreen adhesive back transfers that we're offering in our spring summer catalog, so you can find it on my website. What is really cool about these transfers is that they are silkscreen transfers. They are a fabric mesh, and they have an adhesive back, so when you place this design down on the surface where you want to have this design live, it's not going to move around and shift on you. So it's kind of like a stencil. We tend to not like to think about our transfers as stencils, because really technically they're not stencils. They're not cutouts in these shapes. They're actually screens. And the medium that we put on our screens are either chalk paste, which is kind of like a paint, but it's made out of chalk and it's a paste that goes on wet and dries hard, or our inks, our couture inks, which we're going to be using today. It goes actually right through that mesh. So if you can see that, what I'm doing is I'm peeling the design back off of this white backer sheet. And this is what we have to help protect your transfers, because it's important to know that these are not one-time use designs like stencils are. Rather, they can be used a multitude of times, really up to 8 or 10 times or more, really, if you take really good care of them. So we've got these adhesive silkscreen transfers that come in a variety of designs. In our new spring summer catalog, we actually released over 129 designs in that catalog. So there's a lot to choose from. Everything from great farmhouse decor items to fun kids focused ones for birthdays, for holidays. There's a lot of great things in there. So definitely feel free to take a peek at what is available in terms of designs. Guaranteed there'll be something there that will suit you and your style and your home. Best of all, these transfers are really fun to use kind of mixing and matching. So taking some pieces of one and mixing it with a different transfer or set of transfers and play around with them and kind of make these uniquely yours in your own design. So we've got our silkscreen transfer, and tonight we're actually using our couture inks instead of our paste, because we're actually going to be creating a pillowcase, and we want to make sure that this pillowcase is going to be washable. So one of the great things about using our inks with our transfers is that we can heat set the design, and then it'll be permanent and then washable. So really great if you've got, like me, pets in the house and you want to make sure that everything stays neat and tidy. If you ink on a fabric surface like this pillowcase, then you'll be able to throw it in the wash once it gets dirty or needs to be freshened up a bit. Now, just so that you do know, what we are using here for our pillowcase is a square pillowcase that Chalk Couture does sell. We sell them both in the square size, which is a nice 18 by 18 inch pillowcase. And we also do have a really nice lumbar shape as well. And you can see it's nicely zippered here. And it's a really nice canvas. Now, by the way, if you wanted to color or dye our pillowcases, you absolutely can. So if you wanted it to be a different color other than this natural canvas color, you could easily dye it. Now, what I have underneath my pillowcase is our ink mat. Now, we're going to use this ink mat to make sure that we don't get any ink going into the back side or the other side of our pillowcase. So it'll protect it, and it'll also make sure that usually I just put it in here fold it in half and then open it back up once it's inside. That's the best way to get it in here. The other thing is that the ink mat also has some adhesive on it as well. And so that allows me to smooth out any wrinkles on this mat. And it also means that it's going to keep my pillowcase nice and still. And it's not going to move around on me. So that is a nice way to make sure that I get a really nice adhesion to my pillowcase as well. So I don't have to worry about things shifting around under there. Keeps it nice and firm. So notice I'm just kind of patting it down just so I can get it to stick to that mat and make sure that my mat is fully covering this entire area. Now, this actually transfer has 3 sections to it. There's the no place like at the top, and then the word home, and then the word sweet. And notice that there is a thin white line separating those. Those are actually cut lines. So this is going to allow us to cut this transfer into segments so we can work with it a little bit more easily. So you just want to make sure that you carefully cut along these cut lines. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I'm not going to use this top part in our project tonight. There's no place like. I'm going to actually use the word home and the word sweet, and I'm going to add this saying home sweet home on my pillowcase. So I'm just going to finish cutting up here on this line and put this piece here that we're not going to use off to the side. I have a little desk here behind me that I'm going to. And since it's been a really long day, hey, Annie Banani's on with us. This is my sister, Ann. Welcome. Since it's been a very long day, I need a cup of coffee to get through this live. So Annie, I think you're going to like this pillow. It's a really pretty one. I love this sweet script. It's really pretty. And the home, the lettering in the home is really nice and bold. So I pretty much am going to try to replicate what it is that you see in our catalog. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use the home twice. So we'll put it here, and then of course we're going to put it down here. And I want this sweet to overlap a little, and I might even put it on an angle a bit. So we'll see how that works out. Hey Amanda, welcome. Thanks for joining me today. Oh, you know what? Before I put this on, take this off the backer sheet, one quick tip is if you just actually write on the back of your transfer sheet what it is that is on the other side, then it'll be easier to know where this piece goes back to when we wash it. Now these are all washable by water. So super easy to clean these transfers and be able to reuse them. As a matter of fact, we're going to do that because we're going to reuse this home twice anyway, so we'll get to show you what that looks like. Now, when we're using our chalk paste, I'm going to stand here so you're probably going to see more of my chest here than my face. I always like to stand a little bit when I'm working. I am just making sure that we got really good adhesion where these inks are going. So I want to make sure I get a really nice clean line and there aren't any air bubbles. So that ink mat underneath is going to help that. I'm just going to take a look at this so I have a sense of where this is going to go, and the next one, make sure that it's pretty well centered. And I think it is. I am not one of those super perfectionists when it comes to laying these out, but if you wanted, you could grab a cloth or even some painter's tape and make sure that it's lined up where you want it. But I don't get too worried about that. So we're going to do the home, and then we're going to do the words. I think I'm going to put my second home down next, and then I'm going to put my sweet to overlap it. So the colors I'm using today are our shimmer silver, and I'm going to use the silver for both homes, and then the sweet, I think I'm going to use this Regal, which is really pretty purple. Now our inks come in lots of different colors, and you can see all those colors available on my site. So you can check out and find your favorites. But I thought this color combination would work really well and kind of give it a little bit of a sparkle and a pop. So when you open up our inks, if it's not been opened before, it will have a little seal. You'll just want to take that sealant off. This has been used before, so it's been open. And I'm just going to make sure that we're off the rim here a little bit, just so I don't have any extras in a spot where I don't want them to be. I see we have a few more friends joining us here. Jessica, hey, thanks for joining. And Sue, I see you here as well. Thanks for watching. And so we have our purple here, that Regal, and then of course we said we were going to do the home in silver, so I'm just going to open this up as well. And again, just give it a little stir. Got these great new stir sticks that just came out in our new catalog as well. So if you're looking for something to stir your pastes with, you can grab some of those. And I think that's all we'll need there. And we're just going to take our squeegee. So this little guy here, it's a little nylon squeegee. It's got a little tapered end. And this is what we're going to use to apply the ink to our transfer. And this is actually what is going to be heat set once we apply it. Now the heat setting process is very, very simple. All you need is an iron and some parchment paper. So if you have those two things, you're in good shape. The other thing you can use is a heat press. So if you happen to have a heat press, maybe you have a Cricut machine that you do some scrapbooking or something with, and have bought a heat press, you could definitely use that. It's super quick if you go that route. I got one for Christmas, so I've been using it. It's lots of fun. With the heat press, you just set it at 350, and you heat set it for just 30 seconds. It's very fast. If you're using the iron method, then what you'll want to do is you'll want to set your iron on a non-steam setting, pretty hot, not super hot, but kind of in the medium range. And you're going to place a piece of parchment paper over your finished design, and then you are going to circle the iron over the surface for 4 minutes, and then you'll turn it around and do the back side. And that's it. Once it's heat set, then you can go ahead and wash it if you need to. So that's all it takes to do some heat setting. It's pretty quick and easy. Now these inks, in addition to being used on fabric like we're doing today, can also be used on things like glass or ceramic, and those can go into the oven. So I'm just making sure I got all the spots here. A little dark in my room today, I think, and so as I'm looking around, I see I've missed some spots. So I'm going to just go over those again. Now if you've watched me with our chalks, you might know that we work a little faster when we're working with our chalks, and that's because the chalk pastes, they go on wet but they dry hard, and they dry fairly quickly. So we want to make sure that we move fairly quickly when we're using our chalk paste. We don't have that same concern when we're using our inks. Hey Vicki, welcome to you. Yes, we are launching in Canada. Have you signed up as a designer, Vicki, in Canada, or are you just waiting to be able to purchase products there? One of the things that commerce between Canada and the US is a little bit unique in that as Chalk Couture designers in the US, we're not able to sell our products in Canada, but we've just opened up the capability for Canadians to become designers and sell to other Canadians, which is really exciting. We expect that to be opening up very soon. The expectation is a little bit later this spring, but we are pre-registering Canadian designers, and they can actually be sponsored by the US designers. So Vicki, if you're interested in learning more about that, oh, you already did. That's awesome. Awesome. Great to hear that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to slowly lift up my transfer here. I want to make sure that I got all the area. So this is an interesting transfer because it isn't actually all the way through, meaning that the design in it is purposely meant so that not the whole area is going to be chalked, or in this case inked. So we're going to have some, the font style is a little bit unique in that way. I just want to make sure though that I did get it as thoroughly as possible. Ah yes, there we go. It looks like a little part of that O could use some more. So notice I'm just laying it back down, and I'm going to go over those areas that just could use a little bit more. Now, when you're working with fabric like this, you do need to kind of work in the ink. It's porous, and of course it's going to suck in. There we go, that's better. That looks better. Great, and look at that, how simple and beautiful this is. How lovely is that? Look at how beautiful that came out with just that one part in this silver. Vicki, that's awesome. So one of the cool things that Canadian pre-registrants can do as designers is actually start creating and building their own team of designers once they have pre-registered. So Vicki says she has pre-registered in Ontario, which is one of the places that we are in, and she's already had 5 people so far on her team. That's incredible. That is so awesome. It is really a wonderful company to work with, and their products are spectacular. So you're going to be really happy, I hope. Vicki, great to have you watching and joining me today. So now I noticed I didn't need to do anything with this transfer. I didn't need to wash it or clean it before we go on to putting it down in another place. Just the only thing you want to be cautious of is when you do put this on your surface, that you've got a pretty good adherence to the surface, aren't any bubbles, and that you don't go outside the green area, because the green area, you're obviously going to be going right onto the pillowcase, and you don't want to go beyond it, because then you'll have a little smudge. You don't want a smudge. No one wants a smudge. I know. Yes, can you tell I'm tired? I'm talking like I'm in England. Oh, yeah. So I definitely am seeing that this needs a few going overs here to really get this. It's soaking right into this fabric. So don't be shy about how often you're going over this. You want to make sure that you get a really beautiful end result here. And so that's why I kind of pull it up slowly to take a peek to see, do I need more? Do I need to push down a little harder with my squeegee? And this second go around here on this use of this transfer, I'm definitely finding I need to get a little bit more ink to make these letters stand out. Let's see how that looks now. I always like to kind of check my fingers and make sure still could use a little more. So no worries. Like I said, I'm just going to keep kind of going over this just to make sure. You see, I'm not really that much ink on my squeegee here, but I'm just going over it a few times and spreading that and then squeegeeing up the excess so we can get a really nice clean design. All right, hopefully that should do it this time. Let's take a peek. Still needs a little bit more. Now, I'll be curious to know if it's the color choice, if it's the silver, or if it's that, you know, because there's some silver and kind of glitter in the print, if it's getting a little stuck in the screen and washing it between might have helped it along, but the best way to check it is to just keep lifting and seeing. So I'm going to go this way this time. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Still a little bit more on this E at the end. Going to give it a nice finish. And if I pull it off and I find later that I really wanted it to be a little bit darker, we could go ahead and clean this screen. I kind of like the rustic-y look. It is supposed to be a bit rustic with this font type anyway. But if we wanted to let it dry a bit and then lay this whole thing back over after we've washed it, we could do that to give it a even stronger appearance. That O is definitely needing a little more. And I'm thinking that maybe it's just the screen is pretty full with all this glitter in the shimmer silver. So I think I am going to pull this up. Make sure I don't have any on my hands here. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good, but I do think a little wash might also help it. So I'm going to just put it here into my water bath and give it a little wash, and we can lay it back over once it's dry and make sure we've got all the ink on there that we want. Hey Catherine, are you too from Canada and watching me today? Also pre-registered with us, enough slime people onto your team? If so, that's awesome. It's great to have you here. I am here. I'm just standing up here to clean my transfer. And I do think that in part it was that we had a little bit of that glitter, and the glitter was causing it not to have as clean of a transfer as I would have liked. So we're just going to wash it right up and put it right back on. So all I did to wash it up was say add it to my little water bath here. I'm going to lay this right back down over where it was. And give this a once over here to give it a nice thick look. So that's one of the cool things. This is really easy to work with. Like I said, that adhesive makes it really easy to just put this right back over, and we can go over those spots that didn't quite get as much ink as we wanted. And so you can see why it's a good idea to have that ink mat or something definitely in between the surfaces, just to make sure that we're not having any of this ink go onto the other side inadvertently. All right, and once more we'll go over this E. Pretty easy, pretty forgiving. I think that might do it. Lift this up one last time. Yep, that did it. Say beautiful. Definitely gave us a little bit of a stronger presence there. That looks much, much better. So I'm just going to stick this over here back in my water bath. And then I can clean it off when we're done. Just going to grab a paper towel here for my hands. Hello. You can see my just probably not the best view here. Here we go. And we're ready to put on our sweet overlapping. Overlapping. All right. What do you think about this Regal color? It's awfully pretty, isn't it? We have some beautiful colors to choose from. The hardest decision, I think, is deciding which beautiful color to use. Now, before I put that overlap on, I'm actually just going to grab my heat tool here. I have a hair dryer. This works really well, or this heat tool that I have handy is also good for just kind of giving this a quick burst of heat to dry it a little more quickly. If you wanted, you could go walk away, clean your transfer, and come back, and that would be fine as well. There we go. That was it. Just a little bit, just so it starts to get tacky. Once it's tacky, then we won't have to worry about it being pulled up when we put on the next transfer that's going to overlap it just a tad. All right. So I think just a little overlap would be kind of cute here. So I am going to make sure that we have no air bubbles. And you could use a squeegee to kind of just pull it through just to make sure that there are no air bubbles. It's a good little tip there. And that same squeegee we can take now and use this Regal paste. Sorry, ink. So used to saying paste. And you can see, you don't need a lot. Usually I find going in one direction is best, especially with these thin fonts like this. So chalk paste, it doesn't matter so much, but with the inks, I like to kind of go in up and down rather than side by side or diagonal. And kind of start with pulling the paste. Yeah, see, I say that and then I always fall into the habit of doing it anyway. But that's it. And I think since this is going to be such a bright color, we're not going to have as much of an issue. But let's be on the safe side and check. Yeah, look at that. Oh, we got a little that we could probably add a little extra pizzazz too. There we go. Gorgeous. Look at that. Look at how beautiful. Love, love, love that font, and I love that color. What do you think? And that is it. I mean, that is as simple as it can get, right? So we just want to make sure that we cover up our inks and clean up our transfers in that water. And once this becomes tacky enough, you can go ahead and iron it to heat set it or use your heat press if you have one. So my friends, that was it. Quick and easy project. Probably took a little bit longer because we were using some of that glittery shimmer inks, and that clogged, I think, the transfer just a tad, so probably washing it before we do the next home would have kind of made it go a little quicker. But as you can see, simple, easy, and that's it. That's all it takes to do. Super, super easy. Well, I hope that you had fun and hope you enjoyed this live. I am coming to you to say thank you so much for joining tonight, and I can't wait to show you all the great fun items that are coming up, and showing you how you can use them to create some beautiful home decor. In the meantime, please be sure to share this video. Also, feel free to subscribe so that if I go on again, you'll catch me. And certainly if you have any questions or want to join my VIP group to get some specials and discounts, please just go ahead and type in VIP. That's great for non-designers. And if you're interested in learning about what it is to be a designer with Chalk Couture, whether you're in the US or Canada, let me know. I'd be happy to share with you what it's all about. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a great, warm, and relaxing evening, and I can't wait to come back and see you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.